Good afternoon, participants. Today we have Mr. Deepak Jindal with us for this second session of fourth day of FD. So let me introduce Mr. Deepak Jindal with a total 1 year of experience in top IT companies like IBM, Accenture, TCS, SCL, and currently he is working as a delivery head with Sept. Mr. Jindal have authored 2 books, Certified Design Thinking, Data Scientist, PMP, and help people to realize their true potential. On academic council board of many top colleges and trained over approximately 10,000 people throughout the seminars. Mr. Deepak Jindal passionate about making a difference in people's life and happy to coach on relationship, career, and life. So thank you very much, Deepak sir, for being with us. And I'm sure that this session is going to be very interactive for the participants. Over to Deepak sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for introducing me. It's more than 21 years, not 1 year, because many people will feel that, we are much experienced and, so just a small correction, but thank you so much for introducing me. And I know that there have been so many sessions which are going on, right? And mostly on soft skills and technical skills. And being a part of the management department, being a faculty of that, I think it's a privilege for me. And I would really like to thank you, Shalini ma'am, for introducing me here. And it's an honor to have this interactive session, like she said, with you. So maybe to start with, I think the topic which has been given to me is about managing and coping stress. So maybe I would just like to understand what is your definition of stress, if I have to ask you, if anyone can please share.
Good afternoon, sir. Yes, so stress means, in simple words, too much to do in very less time. And unable to find out the way how to do it. I thought in simple words that can be stress.
Okay, great. Anyone else?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
So for me, it's something which pulls down my energy level or demands a lot of efforts or demands a lot of energy, basically. It could be positive or negative though, but it demands a lot of energy.
It demands a lot of energy. Okay. What else?
Good morning, sir. According to me, stress is something that makes us uncomfortable and that will not allow us to concentrate in any other thing than that particular situation.
Okay, great. Anyone else?
Sir, for me, stress creates a chance to find some sort of solutions to the existing issues that I have right now to resolve.
All right, wonderful. Once you speak, maybe you can lower your hands.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
It is level of mindset. When things goes beyond capacity, then this level is the stress.
Okay, great, wonderful. I think you already have so much experience in stress. So let's understand. I think, many said I get stressed when I'm not able to manage multiple activities in a particular time. And someone said when I think a lot about certain things, right? And if you ask me, the standard definition of stress is when there is an imbalance in the body in terms of, we call it homeostasis. When we start reacting in a certain way, the body doesn't function in a particular way. And when I talk about body, it means our mind as well, right? Now, maybe I can talk on this thing first, that, when Koili madam said that, there are so many things to do and I get stressed, right? Just let me ask Koili madam first that, ma'am, when you say this, there are so many things and I get stressed. So what is your thought behind this? What do you think at that moment?
Can you hear?
Yes,
sir?
yes, yes.
Yes, actually, sir, too much to do, very less time and very less energy also. Because we
Yeah, someone
feel,
said less energy.
yeah, less energy, because we feel that from our hands everything is going on. And that time what I do is, first I make a to-do list, see the priorities first, which I can manage and doable thing. I don't set too high goals. So which is doable, I will do that first. After that, slowly the stress comes down. Means over my head, if I feel a big burden, slowly one by one luggage is coming down, like that I feel. And maybe not exactly on time, maybe plus minus 5% time I finish my work. That's how. Then I'm relieved.
So great. Now, when you said, there is so much on my head and all that, right? Tell me, is it effect? Is it visible to anyone?
No, sir, we cannot express our stress. We have to be professional. We are doing, we are being paid to take the stress. So I cannot show it to
Wow.
anyone. Yeah, we have been paid for it. We have to be professional. If I am unable to manage my stress, that is my problem. That is not my institute problem. Just, sir, very frankly, I was talking.
No, it's good that, you are actually telling what's in your mind, and there is nothing wrong or right about it. But let's understand, I think still at very high level we are talking at this moment, right? And when we say that it is my ownership or responsibility to manage stress, normally when you act out of anger, let's say, or anxiety, what is your, how do you feel at that moment?
Yes, actually, sir, I feel lot of anger within on me on itself, because I am accountable. I've taken so many tasks, understanding that I can do it, but I'm unable to manage. So I feel anger on myself. Actually, sometimes I practice meditation also, because I'm with the art of living for so many years. So sometimes I do that, and it really cools and works for me. Some different exercises I try to manage.
Great. So basically what I'm hearing is that you are taking certain steps to manage your stress level, right?
Yes.
Now, let me share something technical on this side, maybe on the bio side, if I have to say that brain has certain parts, right? And there is one part of the brain which called amygdala. Amygdala creates a chemical reactions, and its tendency is always to think more negative, which is like coming out of fear, coming out of maybe certain threat, and that brain cells get active very fast because of that, and that's how then your body start responding accordingly. Maybe your heart rate will be high, your blood pressure will be high, or maybe you will move very fast, right? You will not be stable in one position. Does these kind of things happen with you guys?
Restlessness happens. Restlessness
Right.
happens. Anxiety, restlessness, that happens.
Right. And I tell you that there was a guy who was a renowned psychologist from Harvard University, Henry Cannon. In 1930s, he had given this one concept called fight or flight. Do you understand what does it mean? Fight or flight? The basic concept of fight or flight is that our brain functions in a survival mode. So either we fight or we run away, means flight, right? So that is where I think the whole human being, if you see throughout their life, they are working in either of these modes. Either they are fighting against something or they are running away from certain things, right? And this we call it an act of survival, where basically you have to survive in this world. And you know what happens during that? During that moment, then we start looking out for happiness. That, you know, I just want to be happy. I want to be happy. I if I get this, I will be happy. And then uh, and every moment, I think, you know, what is the real purpose of anyone, right? I mean, if I ask you, right, I think you might agree or maybe disagree that you would like to be find happiness in any kind of sort of things, in any activities. Is that true? Start with this because I want to be interactive. I can talk a lot about stress and the different techniques to wait forward. But let me first share a small story with you. Maybe that could help. Let's say you are sitting in a park and the weather is very good, nice air, right? And you are reading your book. And you are enjoying that, you are fully into that book, you are into that story, and suddenly somebody just tap on your shoulder like this very gentle touch. So what would be your normal reaction?
Freak, or we'll get freak, or
Okay.
sometimes
Okay,
because we are
great.
into some other world, our thoughts are in some other world.
Mhm.
Suddenly someone comes and disturbs, we will have a shock.
Okay, great. Anyone else?
Yes, sir. So basically, I think when you're concentrating on something like reading in this example, and someone taps your back or tries to talk to you, it kind of breaks your concentration for that period of time. And yeah.
What would be your thought or feeling at that moment or expression?
So generally, I feel that, you know, when you're in a very calm mood and you're in that mood of enjoying the book that you're reading, and someone taps you, I don't think necessarily you have to get irritated or frustrated. It can be a feeling of surprise. It can be a feeling of distraction. It can also be irritation. It can also be like you snap and like thing, or it can be a surprise. So it just depends on the individual and the mood that the person is at that time. It also depends on which stage of reading are you. If you've just opened the book and you're reading and someone taps you at the back, you're still not in the book. If the book is, that's what I feel.
Okay, so basically what I'm getting is that reaction might depend on the kind of book we are reading at what page number. And now let's take another case, similar case, that you have a very deep wound on your shoulder, like, and you are in the same situation. Now, if someone comes and tap there, how you will react?
Sir, we will scream, sir. We will get angry due to the pain. Sudden anger will come, definitely. We can't control that. It's a natural reaction.
Great. Anyone else?
My homeostasis is correct.
Anyone else?
Wound. Yeah, if I have a wound in my shoulder and somebody pats me on my back, maybe I'd shout out, ouch, and I would laugh it out. Because if somebody pats me, definitely it would be someone who's a friend, who's a well-wisher. And so I would not be angry because I know that that person didn't have a wrong intention. I would laugh it out.
But you don't know, right, whether it's a friend or someone, right? And someone is really just
an unknown person.
Yeah, you don't even know, right? Because he's stepping from the back. How will I know, right?
Yeah, the first thing would be an ouch. I turn back and it would be a known person. If it's an unknown person, maybe I'd give him a tight slap. Because an unknown person cannot have the rights to come and tap me like that.
I got that.
Yeah.
I think the message, what I'm trying to share here is that, our reactions, right, in the similar situations doesn't happen because of that particular situation happening at that moment, right? It do happen because already there are so many wounds in our experiences that we are like kind of fearful and then we react in a certain way because those wounds are still not yet healed. Are you getting what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say here is that these wounds are coming from our experiences, right? From our things which we don't like. And there are many situations in our life which we don't like. And when those situations we don't like, we would like to either run away, or we don't know how to handle those situations. And what it creates is it creates anxiety. And in the moment of anxiety, trust me, as per the research, more than 90% people start thinking negative, or I don't want to use word negative. I just want to say maybe they will self-doubting. They start doubting themselves. You know, is it something that I'm not capable? Is it something I'm doing wrong? Why it is happening with me only? It's a very common universal, I won't say universal, it's very common question we do ask to ourselves, why it is happening with me? Why me? Does it happen? I mean, now I'm asking you. I mean, are you able to relate what I'm saying now? Why I have to sacrifice every time? Why he is not understanding me? Right? Then I will also ask myself, what I am doing wrong? What can I do better? I have already given so much in this. I've already sacrificed so much. And then you start building a story which looks like that is the truth. And then we live in the world of that truth, which is actually an illusion. Sometimes I get stressed because I have a lot of work pressure. I get stressed because my spouse is not supporting me. I get stressed because I have to manage my house. I have to manage my office. I have to manage my children. There is no me time. And there is one saying that if you do not understand what is fear or what is anger, and if you do not deep dive into the meaning of it, trust me, it is going to get stronger and more stronger every day. Then we feel like sharing it to someone. At the same time, yes, Rajshri, please.
Well, in each and every field, we feel stressed by this or that means, whether it is family space or in working space. When just my question is, if we are working with an institution, if institution has some give some help or just to motivate us for from this stress, इस स्ट्रेस से दूर होने के लिए स्ट्रेस को दूर करने के लिए सपोज वी आर वर्किंग एट वन इंस्टीट्यूशन एंड वी आर फीलिंग सम काइंड ऑफ स्ट्रेस so if there is any responsibility for the institution also for the this stress, or they will say okay, if you are feeling stress you need not to stay here more.
Okay, I think let's understand what Rajshri, before I answer this question.
Okay.
What is it that you are feeling stressed about now?
No, actually, I'm not feeling stress at all because I'm lucky one. to be a good working with a good institution or having a good family, supportive family. But in journal, my question is, in journal I'm asking because my surroundings, when I go to my surroundings, everyone is feeling stressed because of workload, because of family incorporation. That's why I'm asking this question.
Okay,
I'm blessed that I don't have any stress like that.
right. Okay, I got that. So, Rachri, two things here. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
First thing is that uh, people's personality varies.
Okay.
And when people personality varies, their behavior also varies. When I say behavior varies, means that in the similar situation, I may react differently, you may react differently, someone else may react differently.
Yeah.
Are you with me? Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, so when you have asked this question, which is general, I would request, maybe I may not answer this because it's a very general question, but I would have been happy to answer any question which someone is experiencing right now,
Okay.
right? But I hope you know why I will not be able to answer any general question, because general question will come from my experience as an individual, but that may not fit for everyone who is listening here. But if someone is coming to me and asking a question related to his or her issue, then maybe I would be able to relate to that person and that solution may work better, right? Overall, just to give a glimpse of what you have just asked, whether it's institutional responsibility or not, or someone should leave or not, right? I can tell you only one thing. It's not about institution, first of all. It's about what you are thinking about that institution at that moment.
Okay. Maybe.
Yeah, like I said, maybe, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yes,
Thank you so much.
Eunice.
Uh, I I just wanted to share a thought here based on
Yes,
the
please.
question the madam has raised. In my experience, I have seen a person all my life. Hardly 3 or 4 times he's been stressed, but he never gets stressed because he lives by certain principles that he believes that it's all God's will, and that it's the attitude, I think, that matters. It's the surroundings and environment, institute, everything. We cannot control those surroundings, environment that gives us stress, but how do we react or respond to those environment is what gives us stress, I think. Because I've seen this man, I'm talking about my father, whereas my mother is or has always been stressed and worried and anxious. My father would never be anxious, never be worried, because he just believes that, okay, if anything wrong happens, it is God's will. If God will take care, God will provide. So that maybe that kind of a belief and thought gives him a stress-free life. So different people, like you said, we are all different and unique, and we have our own ways how to react and respond to situations. I think we need to adopt certain principles that, okay, I should not be stressed in such circumstances. Maybe that would help. Just trying to share a thought. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Right, great. So now let's understand that, again, I don't want to generalize, but most of the time, stress happens because of relationships. I mean, if you agree, you can raise your hand at least, or maybe someone can share also. Is it, I mean, do you agree with this statement that stress happens with some issues in any kind of relationship? It can be husband, wife, it can be teacher, student, it can be boss, subordinate, mother, father, brother, sister, right? Right? Stress doesn't happen that, why this water bottle is empty. Or stress will not happen that why my TV is not working. Right? Because somebody said something to me and I feel bad. The moment I feel bad, I will start declaring about myself. Am I that kind of person? Right? And I will not accept why that person has said to me like this. And then we get into a either argument, or also we can get into justification. We will start explaining our reasoning. You know what? I have done so much for you. I have done this thing for you. And still you are saying this to me. I'm giving so much to the institute. Does the institute doesn't have any responsibility for me? Are you getting what I'm saying? So I don't know if you, you can, if you have notebook and pen with you, that's fine. I mean that's actually good. If you have right now, I mean if you have, can you raise your hand? Maybe I can just give you a small exercise or something. How can I check? I mean you can just raise your hand and let me know if you have a notebook and pen. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5. And once you raise, maybe you can keep your hand down, because I will know that you already have. Or you can give a thumbs up also, that's fine. Whatever sign you want to give as an emoji. Or you can take 1 minute and bring that. That's also fine, a notebook and pen. So can I share the exercise if you're okay? Now, if you have already written the situation which is giving you stress, just think about what kind of sensations you have in your body at that moment when you are in that situation, and around which part of body you feel most stressed, right? What you can note it down maybe. Now write down what are your feelings and emotions and expressions in that situation. Now let's think now that the feelings or the thoughts which you have written, are they aligned with who you are as a person? And write about it. If you have written. Now, before I move to next thing, next actions or next thing, anyone would like to share?
So what I noted is a situation, it's a professional situation. I teach English and communication in a B school, and sometimes even I take training classes for placement as well. Sometimes I feel a little agitated, even melancholic or bitter, I should say, when people don't get placed, and the entire blame is on the communication teachers. Now, if 300 out of 350 get placed, nobody comes and acknowledges the efforts of teachers. But if 50 are not getting placed, that means, well, communication teachers is not teaching anything. That's the favorite excuse of the placement department. So that sometimes pinches. And at that time, I would imagine, probably I feel, if you're talking about some bodily pain that we experience, so maybe in the head or around my eyes, I feel the pain. Yeah. And otherwise, I'm not bitter or melancholic at all. I'm quite cheerful and calm. But at that point of time, the worst in me comes out. I feel really bitter.
Okay, great. And I think there were 2 more questions. How were your feelings, thoughts? Then last one was that do you, when these kind of thoughts and feelings comes, do you think that is it the real person who you are? So if you can answer those also. So I mean, anyone who is going to share next, you can answer based on the questions in sequence. Yes, Dr. Ipsita.
So I did talk about all three. In fact, first I said what the situation
Like,
is, and then I said what my feelings are. Like I feel
right.
agitated and bitter and melancholic. And then when you asked whether ordinarily you are that kind of a person, I answered that no. Otherwise, I'm not so. I'm quite cheerful and calm.
Okay.
But at that point of time, I feel bitter. And
got
at
it.
which part of the body where I feel the pain at the time, probably it's I get headache a lot when I get stressed, and
Okay.
sometimes strain around my eyes also I feel. Yeah.
Got it.
So, thanks, sir.
And
may I-
when you, yeah, one thing. And when you were writing this, how
Yes.
how were you feeling at that moment?
I was happy to express, rather, I would say.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Who is next?
Myself, Dr.
Yes,
Kohli, sir.
ma'am.
Yes, sir, the situation which you told, sir, that the stressful situation is no appreciation by the HODs and supervisors. Even if you work hard, if you work to the extreme extent, there is no appreciation. And at the same time, others who are not doing that much are highly appreciated. So that is the main stressful situation. In my body, yes, I feel my brain gives signals of insecurity, my heart beats faster, and the feelings, definitely I feel very low in energy at that moment, and little bit angry, and also feel pity for the person who is judging me. Maybe he's not appropriate, I feel, but I should not feel that anyway. And you asked the question, are you the same person who you react at that time? No, not at all. I'm a very positive person, and if someone is angry on me, it is that their problem, it is not my problem. If I have done some mistake, I have the guts to acknowledge it also. That much guts I have.
I can listen so many emotions also in your this now. You feel pity for the person who judges you. It's your on mute.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Sir, can I
yes.
speak? Can I
Yes,
speak,
sir.
sir?
Yes.
Sorry, 1 second. Let me finish
Yeah.
with
Yeah, I
Kohli,
feel,
ma'am.
yeah, I feel pity on them because I can clearly see that he's judgmental.
Okay. Just think, just write this statement right somewhere. I think it's very important. And just experience this during your day. That we feel pity for the person who judges us. So does it mean we are neutral?
Sir, to some extent, I can say I'm neutral.
Okay, got it. Thank
And
you.
it is very difficult to gain that quality.
Okay, we will talk about difficult and easy also. So, yes, Meghna ma'am.
So I would like to share something which has very recently happened.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, as recent as a couple of days back, 2-3 days back, just a hypothetical thing, there was a teachers award, All India Teachers Award. I didn't want to apply for it because not that I didn't fit well into it, but I just thought it's futile because most of them are rigged and most of them are all adjusted in advance. Maybe that's my pessimistic thing, but I confirmed that now. And the best thing is that 2 days back, I got a call saying that you have been selected for the interview with the vice chancellors, ... And the interview happened. Following which, in the night, I got a message that you have been selected in the second place and send your photo, etc. So that this thing. So I was very excited. Fortunately, knowing my pessimism, I just shared it with my son, who shared it with all his class friends, shared it with my husband, and no one else. Next morning, which is yesterday, I get a call saying that I'm really sorry. The lady who called, I'm really sorry. Don't feel bad. Don't commit suicide. we will give you a chance to be a jury here, we'll give you a chance to be a member here, but they have removed your name. So I asked them that how is it that once you release the results, you can remove the name. So they said, oh, it's just my mistake. Please understand, story. And then, of course, I got some explanation saying that most of the people were favorable to your resume and the work, but there is this one judge or jury member who did not like you from the days of your masters when you were in the hostel and campus, etc., etc. So on personal grounds, I think she was not happy with you, and so she refuted your name, and it's out now. Now, when I got this news, I did tell the person who gave me the news that number one, I am a very resilient person. There's no question of committing suicide or going into depression because this is very trivial. But yes, it is raising someone's hope and then crushing it down with absolutely no explanation. And this is unfair. This is, and I think all of us today present here, I'm assuming that we are 96 of us and all of us are teachers. I think in the academic fraternity, I think respecting teachers' contribution. I was just listening also in the morning, the English teacher said she was not recognized. HODs don't recognize juniors' work. College doesn't recognize teachers. I think it's an absolutely frustrating, ongoing feeling. I get really angry, of course, because I am a person who would get angry. That's my personality also. I don't believe in keeping quiet, repressing it and suppressing it. I did write a very strong mail, and then the whole thing is इतनी बेशर्मी है कि वो इंसान फिर आपको मैसेज भी करता है कि सेरेमनी है 5th September Teachers Day, we would like you to be there, छोटी सी बात है. So I really feel that people should be told. I mean, the Gandhian philosophy,
Let's come to the questions which I asked. I understood you felt angry because of this situation. You felt frustrated and you are a strong person. We have written an email. So if you can just answer the last question based on your thoughts and these feelings, what you just expressed based on this situation, is it the person who you really are?
It is the person I really am.
Okay.
I feel, and my thoughts I've written down, that I feel hurt, I feel rejected, and I feel stabbed. The right word here is I feel stabbed and I feel it's not fair.
Got it. Okay.
Good morning, sir. Are you able to hear me, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, what you have asked us, my question is, my statement or what I felt, or when I felt stressful, not in the professional world, because I know what the professional world is. So we have to be professional there. But in the personal world, what I felt always that sometimes when I was not appreciated or when I was not acknowledged by my in my house or in my by my family members, then I get stressful. And for some time I felt what is the difference between professional and personal? So at that time I feel very painful because the persons are very connected to me and they are not realizing what I have done for them and what I am thinking. What sometimes the situation is there I am not going to do what they are feeling, but they know what my nature is, what my attitude is. Even though they are not recognizing me, at that time I feel stressful. But because of my nature, because of my attitude, I always feel that, okay, this is only the situation. If I am not being acknowledged or being not appreciated, there is one supreme God who is recognizing me. And that time I felt that, okay, if he recognizes me, if he acknowledges me, nothing is there in the world because they are all the same creatures like me. So sometimes, and in bodily, what I feel when I get stressed, the main problem with biological problem when I get stressed, I used to eat more and more. Means I don't, I can't differentiate if this is wrong, if this food is wrong, getting adverse effect on my body. So this is the reason, and I now not the way I felt like this, but now I am means I am correcting on my this habit, because definitely it will give me pain in the near future. So this is my point, sir.
Great. Thank you for sharing, Dr. Nidhi. And if I get now, I think most of us, we look for appreciation, we look for recognition, or if I have to say that maybe we look for being accepted by people around us. And when we talk about acceptance, that's why if you see Facebook, social media, why it has grown so fast, because people do like to share their pictures or whatever videos so that they can be liked by the world, right? And when people comment that you look gorgeous and it's very nice, looking great and all that, then one cell of your brain gets activated because of appreciation. So overall, in summary, if I have to say that somewhere we don't feel ourselves complete. Something is missing, right? When I say something is missing means that that's why we want to fill that gap by getting acceptance from other people, by looking appreciations. And when we don't feel complete means that there is something wrong in me, whether I agree or I don't agree, whether I can acknowledge this or not, that is also another thing, right? Now, this is very interesting. I can tell you one very simple and the truth of this universal truth. Till the time we look outside for happiness, we will never be happy. Now, it can be outside world with respect to the materialistic things, or it can be outside world with respect to the relationships. Now, this statement may not be digestible because it's a very bold statement, right? But trust me, until or unless we don't find peace within ourselves, situations will keep triggering you. They will keep poking you. And our reactions will come, like some of my colleagues have just shared, based on different situations and all, right? Just think through it. I mean, it's not that I am trying to give a lecture or a gyan on this. I mean, it's more about getting an experience of it, because there is a difference between knowledge and experience, right? So knowledge is fine, but until or unless we do not experience it, we will not realize it. That transformation will not happen, right? Maybe just write in your notebook, think about it, that why I need acceptance of others, right? This is very important question. And there can be many reasons for it. And they can be fact also for you. I mean, it will look like, this is the fact. Then maybe the second thing you can ask about yourself is, what worse can happen? And if that worst can happen, What is the fear? Assuming the worst can happen and we are in that situation now. Are we saying that we will not be able to step up? Or we will not be able to take any action after that? Or are we saying that we are not confident enough that we will not stand up again if I fall, let's say? Right? Yes.
Yes, sir, I want to say something here. What you have said right now, it's absolutely correct, because we don't have to see the outer world for the happiness or the peace which I want in my life. But this is the problem I have told you. These are because we are the human beings. We have certain feelings, different feelings in different situations. So now the solution I have also found out that these all people are like me. They are also living on the same environment, same earth. So why I'm getting stuck to them that they are not acknowledging or they are not appreciating? So I have gotten solution. There is a supreme power. If I got the appreciation or the acknowledgement from here only, from him only, this is the only thing and this is the optimism I can say. I am not boosting myself. This is the optimistic view which I have found out to remain happy and peace and calm in my life till my end.
Great.
Thank you, sir.
Wonderful. So now let's say I can tell you, if you already have notebook with you, write down 7 things for which you are proud of. Let me repeat. Write down 7 things for which you are proud of. And it can be maximum 1 sentence for 1 item, or maybe 1 word is also fine. Don't write essays. 7 things, you have maybe 1.5 minutes to write this. Now write down 7 things for which you will forgive yourself. Write down 7 things for which you will forgive yourself. Now write down 7 things which you are committed to do in life. Write down 7 things for which you are committed to do in life. I hope everyone have written, and I don't want you to share because it might be very personal. But if anyone just want to share, how do you feel after doing this exercise? That is okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, by doing this activity, I felt very, you can say very peaceful. That will be the correct word. I just felt like there was so much in my head going on. But after writing it down in, or you can say by writing it down in the copy, it felt like that, yes, there was so much in the head, which sometimes I am not even recognizing it, right? So by just putting it into the notebook, I felt like I'm now very, it makes me very easy, very peaceful, and actually happy also. Ki I am having so much things to feel, you can say grateful for, like things that makes me feel proud are the things that obviously makes me happy. So in spite of looking here and there for the things that make me feel sad, I have list of not only 7, but actually more than 7 things are there, which I can make myself feel proud and they make me feel happy. And there are so much that I'm committed for also. So, sir, thank you for such a wonderful activity that is like a mirror to me, actually. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Garima, for sharing.
Sir, I want to ask you that there are certain people who have developed imaginary fears, especially in the time of COVID, they have developed a fear of death. And it is not their perfect health and everything is okay. So how to help such person? Because sir, I'm facing such a problem with a person in my family.
Understood. So two things, Dr. Sangeeta. I mean, one is fears are always imaginary. That is one. Second is I'm not a therapist, but maybe one should see a therapist. This is my personal take. Third thing, which is again not related to you, but in general, I would say life is temporary, death is permanent. Right? And maybe I can say some few things here in terms of that, when there is a fear of maybe COVID or death, right? First of all, we need to understand what are the channels, from where this information is coming to someone's mind. So the first thing what we can do is, I'm talking now practical thing, not philosophy. We can cut out those channels. It can be news, it can be TV, it can be talking about it, right? That is the first thing. Second thing is that acceptance has to be there about the reality of life. And once we accept it, the resistance will be minimal, or it will not be there for any situation, for any challenge, right? Once we accept it, we will also acknowledge that, okay, what are the next steps I can do about it? And then maybe we need to list down those things. I know I have not answered your question like the way you wanted or the way you were expecting, but maybe we can talk one-on-one, or that way I can understand better also, right? Because we have time constraint and we have to because this discussion may not be answered in few minutes. So then one more request is that since you are a faculty members, you are teaching, you are a teacher, be the role model. People look up to you. Every year, hundreds of students go through your hands. So make sure that we are building the great character of those students. We are representing that, right? And be visible on LinkedIn also. That is also very important. Read some good books, do some yoga, meditation. And it is important that teacher is always at service. So teacher's own self-interest will come maybe in the end. But first important part is how I'm able to serve this world, how I'm able to serve these students, what validation I can give. If that intention is clear, all your actions will be aligned to it. Then if someone will say something bad to me, may not impact me also. Because I will just give you one small example that let's say for 2-year or 3-year-old child, right? He's crying like anything to eat maybe chocolate. As a mother, you will feel bad. But there is a high possibility you may not give because this is bad for him. At that moment, it is like standing on an edge of a sword, where your intention is that my son or daughter, I have to take care of him, I have to protect him, I have to think good about him. Even if he or she says something bad about to me. Sometimes children react, right? You are this, you are that to parent, and we feel bad also. But at that time, we digest also. Because we know they are my children. And I'm thinking good for him. Maybe they are not understanding it, right? Now just think like this, and the whole world, the people around you, you never know, they are already going through a lot of struggles in life, right? And when they are reacting, they are saying something. They are not saying those things to you, actually. They are already suffering. And when they are already suffering, they need love. They need compassion at that moment. They're not actually telling you or to that particular situation. Trust me, whoever is in anger, that anger is never for that particular moment and never to that person. It's always about this form. I don't know. I mean, who has sent this form? I have not sent this form. This so it's not about that thing, right? It's more about that how we take it, right? And that anger is like kind of getting piled up. So be a good example, even if you have to, I would say, change your habits.